Yone. You can also try and match his scaling. With Tristana, you need something that can actually match the early shove, otherwise you can get snowballed against very aggressively here. And the big difference between this pick and what we saw in the previous ones is that finally Klid might have mid-prio. And that is something that he hasn't had all game.
Yeah.
And not having mid-prio into Cuz, a player that has been amongst our most aggressive by a large margin when it comes to counter jungling, is a nightmare. And I wouldn't be surprised.
You know your tweet is good when people say in other streams, go check him out on tweet.
Pretty good as we do see the Jace.
Why is Elise falling through all these drafts?
You safe counter pick here, right?
Elise has fallen in prio.
Unless you really want to try
ever since
something crazy, which it is Lahans.
The nerfs.
Yeah. You could guarantee a better bot lane matchup, but instead, Lahans is going to go for something a little bit more engage focused.
Yeah,
well.
Perfect.
Still engage focused, it's just the same thing from last time. We have switched
live SOFM reaction.
Towards Tristana, and otherwise it's going to be the same thing. So now, Live Esports, how are we rounding this one out? We need a support, we need a top lane. Is Cassante going to poke his head in? It's been a while.
Bro, I fucking hate the Rakan picture. Like, why is Zaya just chilling there?
Still available. The Jax ban is there, so at least Keen won't get access to that. As
that's
I know that Huni has been calling for this, not in support though, but he's been asked, where is it? Where's the flame spitting?
Yeah, it is live.
This makes a lot
That's
more
why
sense.
I'm a little worried. But yeah, Renata is going to come through the classic answer to the Rakan. Love to see it. And honestly, the composition kind of rounds out nicely here as, okay, Keen, what are you cooking?
I like the Gwen angle. With how well Keen is playing, pick with that much aggression and an incredible matchup into Cassante would make me very happy.
Yep. I would agree. And there it is. So Keen,
you guys know what I think about Gwen. By the way,
so now things become very, very difficult.
Yesterday,
Esports on the top side of the map. As the game goes on, of course, Cassante can still do Cassante things in the early stages.
Bro, yesterday, look, I found the counter to Veigar blind. I just play Gwen.
Levels, but I mean, the amount of outscaling.
It was fucking bad, honestly, though.
Is probably one of the most absurd.
I just played Gwen mid with Flash Ghost and Proto build. Because I can just W his E and go through it, you know? I cannot get ganked, and I'm scaling.
And I don't even,
but I lost.
Like, obviously you're not going to be looking for
I think I Flame Horizon them. 284, 187, almost. I did lose, but definitely not my fault that enemy must E is 19-7.
Not a great matchup for the Cassante by any means. And we have already seen what Keen does when he does get pressure in the side lane.
Bro, I ban Musty every game. I didn't ban Musty one game.
Way more threatening.
He gets triple kill bot.
Oh, absolutely.
And he has Kraken.
The biggest thing, right? I think game number 1 was close. I think almost.
And then he has like this fucking
like
beach Musty skin, whatever it is, where he slaps you with the schlong.
Add that extra layer, that extra bit of pressure.
It all falls apart.
It does. It becomes very, very difficult. As Hirai, they're actually very, very cute, standing alongside his bottom lane.
5 things I love about Yamato: his smile, his infectious laugh, his widow's peak, his charisma, and his piercing eyes. Much love. Thank you. Thank you for the copy pasta. I appreciate it.
A 6-loss streak right now. It has been a difficult time. Keen's Gwen is really what's drawing my eye. Let's jump onto the Rift here for game number 3.
Okay. I just joined and Schlong is already being whipped out.
The last chance saloon for Harma Life Esports. They have to win here.
Man.
Get towards some silver scrapes.
Oh, nice. Nice. I love the overlay.
Zeka on the Tristana in order to attempt it. And you were talking about getting some mid-prio, and I think that
let's see if Zeka's in Sweden, guys.
Actually going to be able to play around, potentially having some more agency this time.
Yeah, isn't that crazy, Sakura Nico? I feel very insulted.
It at least mean that he's not in as much threat. Obviously, the 1v1 still going to be Wukong favored. Maokai much more about setup and being able to try and play of the rest of his lanes set up for them. But we've already seen, because when he gets an early lead, doesn't
Thank you, interrupted the stream.
Criticism that was levied towards Kaiser, if he doesn't do well in the early game and then he kind of just flounders into mid to late and he's never able to kind of team fight power. But this split
was the worst play on Hammer Life.
Just hasn't really been the case, and it's Lahan's doing a great job.
I wonder about that one.
Well, but it's
a very tough question.
Looking to be in much better form this split.
It's very hard to say because
kind of coming together for this KT roster.
you know, they're playing different roles.
Earlier at the opening, for Keen and BDD, it's very obvious.
They're playing different positions.
Right, BDD for self-explanatory reasons, but even Keen has not looked this good in years.
Yeah, no, it's been at least 2 or 3, right? But we have been talking about the Keen test with any real seriousness. As Aiming taking a little bit of harassment here towards his bottom side.
Let me tell you guys, jungle,
our eyes sort of
not balanced.
Constantly going to be moving towards that top lane.
AD carry, not balanced.
Of course, on the mini-map, guys, because that's all you really need to check out right now. Not a whole lot of action. As yeah, everything was pretty cool, calm, and collected for a large amount of time in game number 2 as well. No need to worry about, you know, who smashes what matchup, things like that. As we check in towards his top lane, we're noticing that Keen is playing pretty far up in this lane right now. King and
You're watching LPL after, yeah.
As yeah, quite a few victories here for the Cassante. 6 in a row. As BDD on the champion with the opposite of the win rates. But it is BDD on clear, so I just generally default to trust when that happens.
They've earned it, right? I think that makes complete sense with the performance that we've seen of the players individually thus far. Talia, also you're playing into a composition that, barring late game Tristana, doesn't really have much to go on when it comes to range, so playing a kite-back composition with a Talia is always going to feel great. Same for Gwen, although when KT wants to, they are more than capable to put on the aggression themselves with the Wukong and...
Could that last game have been perfect game if ADs were switched?
Also, adaptation from Viper in game number 1, he went for Doran's Blade, and then Aiming went for Call. And kind
they
of
lost 2 Rift Heralds.
Got ahead no matter what. This time around, we do see as it's an 8-game.
8-game, never mind.
8-game losing streak here.
I think it was 3 games in the playoffs. Sorry, 6 games in the playoffs that were lost. Yeah. But it's actually on an 8-game losing streak this year, so it's even worse. See whether BDD can fix that. Of course, it will provide a 3-0 victory for KT and get them that matchup up against Gen.G in the lower bracket final. Opportunity to go to MSI.
Should I just take a nap during this game so I have energy for OMG versus Top Esports?
Long road for Humble Life to get there. And have to start with a win in this particular game. Aiming, walking forwards, doesn't find too much. And I do really like Renata. Not a huge fan of Renata Zeri as a lane in itself, but Renata is the answer to the Rakan. Absolutely fantastic. We'll see whether these hostile takeovers are going to be enough in this game to really change the whole situation.
Now you can also counter Aiming if he does get a cash in, because it's actually just, it's for you now.
Hey,
don't mind if I do.
Love to see it.
Well, I don't know about that. Felt it was pretty far-fetched, but
it would be fun though. Like, just,
I'll have my headset on, so I will hear if.
Kill the rest of your team.
Okay. Zeka finds trade on E, cooldown.
Throw some rocks back at him, so relatively even as far as the trade. Good to see some aggression out of the mid laner here from Humble Life though.
Honestly, every time I go to sleep,
okay, I think he just took a turret.
The underdog just.
So good, as that is going to be first blood solo kill for Kingin.
I just want to say, every time I go to sleep, the enemy team starts winning.
Just a bit of a Cassante moment.
As I was about to say, the game state for Hanwha is looking a lot better because they have mid prio, bot lane is looking like, I think in the previous 2 games.
It's like when I was watching Gen.G versus Hanwha Live.
But crucially,
Gen.G decided to go Pantheon support.
And with this kill, it's not gonna counteract the
I should wear sunglasses so no one thinks I'm sleeping.
Beyond, it's going to be a toughie. But even then, like, this is really, really big here. These type of moments
I can do that.
might be enough to give some faith. As, yeah, that is.
Really nicely.
Turret shots doing so much work here. And even with the E, no way out there for Keen. And
now they're able to get themselves the first Drake as well. I'm looking at my hands. There is not too much on them just yet, but we'll have to report on whether game is going to be turning up there.
We know about Game 5, but what about Game 3?
Yeah.
That one's still up in the air. But at the very least, Hanwha Life, I think, doing a really good job at understanding that allowing KT to play aggressively.
Well, guys, Bongo 420 Master Stoner just came in and said it's a reverse sweep.
As T1 and even D+ when they were still in playoffs come to mind, where they play very aggressively for early kills. But KT play exceptionally well with map control, right? They choke you out. Side laning has been really good.
It's done.
The individual performances of
it's done for KT.
Is something we've talked about extensively, and it's because they start setting up these vision traps, and you never really get to fight your way back into the game. So I'm really happy to see Hanwha at the very least try and match that early pressure, because that doesn't mean that KT is just not still.
He's calling it now.
I do still like their draft. I don't think they're contingent or relying 100% on aiming popping off, but that remains an option nonetheless. But it's good to see some signs of life from Hanwha, because that game number 2 had me very worried.
Certainly did. I just want to see them playing a little bit better.
It's not yet Jovarida. What does that even mean?
And so far, everything A-okay. First blood, solo kill, 300 gold lead.
Man took too many bong hits.
Double 80 carry as well. They'll have a lot of damage. Come late game, not a lot of magic damage. That's okay. Not exactly a true tank on the side of KT to worry about. And Zeka, yeah, just having a great time here in this mid lane. Head by a little bit of farm, but being Tristana, just existing, trying to get towards the turret, take it down as early as possible is kind of the aim of the game. And now, using this extra bit of priority that Hanwha Life has been able to put together for themselves, should be able to grab Shirley. And so far,
what is it? I don't understand what you guys are saying.
Compared to last game,
why does it all make sense to you guys?
Absurd lead, Atlas.
I know.
Such progression. Wow.
Nutty.
But it is a great start to Viper.
All right, comes Viper.
Level 6 is there for both aiming and the hands as well, though, but they get the cleanse as well. And now Viper just running after them. Not going to be able to find any kills or anything like that, but still, they'll take the cleanse. They'll be happy about it. It's just 1-for-1 on some of the spells.
Level 6 Zeri power spike. We've seen this many a time, and still sometimes our team get a little bit caught off guard. It's because actually got counter jungled a few times this game. He doesn't enjoy that.
No.
That's supposed to be his thing.
Well, now Clid looking for a bit of an engage angle onto BDD, but BDD not going to bite. Just going to move back. And yeah, so Kingen got a solo kill. Does mean that Keen is going to take a little bit longer to become ridiculous, which is good.
Lands a TP. Great.
Yes, he does very much unseal his spellbook when he does take that. Going to be moving into the enemy jungle. Getting control around this Drake pit. A minute and a half before that one is back up and available yet again. And man, I feel like this first blood going to Kingen has only slowed the game down more, Chronicler.
Yeah, it also means that Kingen will have a okay time for longer. It doesn't really change until if he gets like multiple kills, if they focus topside and Keen really gets put behind, then you might be talking about like late game when you hit some of the bigger spikes, like Rabadons, for example. But I do still think that just the gold lead that has been found for Kingen now, as soon as Riftmaker rolls up, it's going to still shift the matchup very heavily in Gwen's favor. Like, Gwen really isn't the champion until she has that item. Is Zeka doing a nice job of sidestepping here?
It's really big that they have first Drake here. Like, this mountain is massive.
This time around, Zeka not going to fall for it.
This is very winnable for Hanwha Life.
As now, he might have thought that they caught
like, insanely winning for Hanwha Life, honestly.
Another seismic shove going to go wide. Here by BDD. Cat chasing the Rakan. There's still that level of intensity we had in the last game. So once again, the same old story about the Draven is, okay, good buffer of the rocket jump. Allows Zeka to avoid being seismically shoved to his death. And Kingen just going to do that, farming behind the turret thing that he was doing in game number 1. KT going to set up for their first streak of the game if they can secure it.
Aiming does already have his Essence Reaver done here. Does have to catch the wave here, so there would be an opportunity, but Hanwha Life doesn't look like they want
Gwen is okay. Gwen sold everything down to get Riftmaker.
Him as well.
Yep, Riftmaker done for Keen also.
Ooh, that's big.
Has teleport up, but isn't going to use it.
Not that great of a fight here for KT. I think they cannot go for it.
KT,
they are losing. Okay.
The Drake, Earth, Wind, and Fire, perhaps? Question mark. That'll be a little bit of fun, as it's going to be an Ocean, and now Lehens could be in trouble. He's denied his grand exit. It is still going to be okay. Has to
he wanted to fucking smite it. This psychopath dude.
Being picked up, the Drake also being secured, and Hanwha Life are running this game.
Doing a really good job here. Mid lane, we do see the Herald being planted down, going to help Zeka. Doesn't have his mythic just yet, but will decay shortly. Same for Viper.
Drake stack is good for any team. There's never a situation where Drake stacking is negative.
Continue to play aggressive here. And KT, for what feels like the first time in this series, you know, there were some fluctuations in game number 1 in gold, but it still felt like...
I think it's going to be an Ocean Soul, guys, based off of the color in the river.
And not going to be the case in this third game, at least for the start
If you can stack Drakes, then you stack Drakes.
As long as aiming doesn't die, KT
if you can't, then you hope that the enemy won't.
Are both going to scale an incredibly strong team fight threats, but I do think the KT composition will struggle a little bit because itemization becomes a lot easier if aiming is a non-factor. So that is the only thing that they need to be careful about.
Yep, indeed. Still, it's different insurance policies, right? You've got Hanwha Life, who now do have an extra one. Tristana, of course, going to be doing a lot of work in the late game, but it's him and Viper that are going to be it for them. On the other side, KT, like you were talking about, it is all about this Gwen as far as late game win condition is concerned. So we'll see whether they can play out that side laning as well as they have in the past. Like, I think KT this season have been our best split pushing team.
They're the only one from the top of my hat that made Huni happy with split pushing. So
true.
That might actually be that might be it right there. That might be
that's proof.
The evidence that you're looking for.
I would absolutely agree. It's because in some position, looking for an angle, but not going to find it. Life actually is going to go for a reset here. And you can see Viper is just going to dash away and go home as well. So, yeah, continuing a bit of inaction. a little bit of not stuff happening.
A bit? You made me
a lot of not very much.
A little chuckle that I had to stifle there. Yes. There is definitely a...
Ooh, damage may happen to this turret.
There is a charm, Atlas. It's a slow burn.
Oh, no.
You know, it's like a thriller. You're just waiting to see what's about to happen.
Oh, no, Zeka! He's going to flash. And the Cyclone's going to come through. They still want it. And Cuz is going to steal. That was the cash-in. That was the cash-in, Cuz.
No cash-in.
No. Well, that's fine. It's not like he loses
no cash
the
US
or anything like that. But that would have been a phenomenal moment for KT. In the end, KT's still going to be able to knock down this turret, most likely. As King and actually ghosted on in here. Stand aside, actually fantastic from aiming, though. And so they do protect the turret.
Every single Draven main in pure pain as Viper.
Okay, Viper just running after Keen here. As Needlework
oh,
is
the Root Sandstorm.
Clit's going to come on forward. Life's here as well.
Oh, dodges it. Doesn't matter.
Yes, as the Bramble Smash comes forward and they deliver
huge.
Viper a kill. That's how you get it done.
And
huge.
On bot side.
Zeddy cashing out.
They kill Zeka, but aiming doesn't get his cash in. And then additionally, Keen gets caught on the top side of the map.
It's time for the Viper show.
That play, but it is the rest of his team that cashes it in. And
it's about damn time.
Viper getting fed. A great team fight composition with good
I made a deal with the devil, Jimmy.
And Keen on the back.
She dies. I go free.
I'm a little bit worried.
Oh my god, yeah, Viper's playing like a maniac, as he should. Yeah, that's how you. That's what you got to do.
He is playing exceptionally well, and that has not changed all series long. The outcome has not been what he wanted, but the gameplay absolutely has been. He's going to go back, looking for those quick blades.
Jacked out, good to go.
Soon. Aiming, still searching. for his cash-in. As we check this out once again, because thievery.
Yo, Exist, thank you very much for the
for
the subscription. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're very kind.
Yeah, there was no way he was getting out. Maybe some underestimation of the damage there, as Viper very aware that the rest of his team is here, so that's why he can go in. Keen also immediately realizes, like, yeah, that this is not just a Zeri, but is so far up the lane that even with Ghost and being Gwen, not able to actually get
How many
out.
stacks Draven has?
Viper, people getting the kills. Very big. This might be an early soul point, and Lahens on a deep flank.
Not sure.
Oh, he's on a mission. Do have a lot of vision behind Hamalife.
His head is growing faster than the series.
So this Rakan still unseen.
Oh, life.
Yeah, life is the one to go down as the Weavers.
Oh, life, no flash.
Oh, no.
Good job, BDD. Big Dick Daddy. Send me the Eddie. Oh, the flash is beautiful. Come on, Viper. Come on, Viper. Let's go, Justin.
Into the waiting arms of a Draven. He'll say, all right, I'll take 2 this time.
And Viper's like, I just want a team fight, man. Let me fight them.
Oh,
he's doing his best. Viper's ult on.
Onto a kitty cat.
Oh, it ran out.
Still going forward, but you can't. There's too many people here. Can't afford to go in there, and yeah, you get the kill. That's nice.
I didn't see Zeka in this fight. Let me see Zeka, guys.
I know. Now he's sitting on 2.5 thousand gold.
Yeah. So Cuz knew that he just had to.
All of you guys are flaming Zeka now. I'm really curious.
Yeah. He's like, no, but you just see what this next one's going to be. Fantastically done. Viper is going to be able to at least get the enemy red buff. That is something, at least. But still, this game, by no means
give me a replay.
Is it, like over right now, but this is KT well and truly back in the game that Hamalife were running for so long.
All right, eyes on Zeka.
My favorite part about this is that Lahens isn't actually needed here.
No, he doesn't actually show.
No. Until much later, right? And it's actually so cool.
What?
Because I think for a lot of players, the first instinct, as soon as that play comes through, is go in. But Lan's like, I am a ward. I am just here so that you guys know who to kill.
Nah, man.
And then when he does go in, obviously, further cements the fight. Is Zeka going to get taken low here? Coming into this game, we're saying Zeka individually needs to perform better. Thus far, haven't really seen that.
No, not so much. Still, he's on a Tristana, late game win condition, absolutely there. But it's just the, I don't know, it's just like not having a very good day, not having a very good week. It's not the time to do it. There's BDD up here towards his top side with Cuz in hand. We'll be able to take down this turret. Keen trying to do the same thing, splitting on the bottom side. So that split push that we were talking about as Lahens. That's a little bit annoying. Life is just going to restart the back.
Not too bothered. And Viper doesn't have quick blades just yet, and he's sitting on like an item and a half. Yep. Aiming has now a shield bow and is getting very close to a Lord Dominic's as well.
I want to see Lahens' forward percentage. I imagine it would be quite high.
It actually might be, like post 14 minutes, it might just be 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. It's just like always on a merry walk through the enemy jungle.
He's on a mission to be behind turrets for as long as possible. And behind enemy turrets is, of course, what we're talking about. As Kingen taking a bit of damage from Keen here, the bottom side. Good dashes used for the Cassante, but it only gets worse from here. Snip, snip.
Yeah, that's the problem. We've reached a point where the base damage from Cassante obviously isn't enough anymore. And I'm expecting Keen to go for, I guess, the Morelos here? How it's looking right now.
Not entirely sure what he's going to put together.
Sorry?
Not entirely sure what he's going to put together.
We'll see. There's a couple of directions that you can still go with the Gwen. We've seen everything ranging from very AP-focused builds, right, which are my favorite because your needles become utterly ridiculous going into Cosmic Drive and Rabadons. We used to see a lot of Nashers as well, which in the side lane, and Split Push obviously is amazing. And yeah, he died twice, but I don't think he really minds.
No, and I don't think it matters too much as far as what his game plan is going to be. Zeka, he's splitting as well, but BDD should be there to answer. Fair bit of wave clear available for the Leandries that has been picked up already by the Talia. So deals with that. So the restabilization of this game in favor of KT has occurred. 2-0-2 on Aiming, who now has 3 items. That is 1 full item completed ahead of his lane opposition. And in one team fight, a game that looked like it was in control for Hanwha Life, goes the opposite. Very, very quickly. Still, doesn't mean that it's unwinnable. Doesn't mean that this one is permanently going to be out of control, but there is certain things, and you were talking about, you know, your essay in the last game. There's like equations in this game that are difficult to solve here for Hanwha Life Esports, and most of them involve a Gwen.
Yeah, and there's also, as mentioned, the silent pressure from King kind of goes without saying. Void second. Wow. Wow. Really, really going in hard to try and still do damage against King and Unclid. Obviously not going to be nearly as impactful against Zeka and Viper, but I do also think it makes sense for Keen to expect to just kind of be hitting frontline in this game and just be a threat with your needles. You can still hit backline, but not really the main point.
Yep.
But as far as the equation goes, yeah, this is above my pay grade. I'm not very good at math. And I think the Gwen maybe you can solve, but then there was also the Fed Draven with Cleanse and Flash still up, and you need to kill him. And maybe you force your opponent to make a mistake.
Could be Purple Worm. That could be the solution. I don't know. We'll have to get it checked by the teacher. There's KT. They're going to move on in. They know exactly what's going on. Cuz is going to get into position. Are we flipping it here? Are we flipping the series? Hanwha Life as Weaver's Wall is going to come forward. Extendo Beam is actually massive as Aiming takes a lot of damage. Zeka dives towards the Baron, but now they want the team fight. Cuz is going to explode, and now Viper still at full health, zoning everyone away.
There's no smites.
They're not. And Cuz, he's out of here. The Seismic Shell going to push Keen back in. Can they steal it? The answer's no. It's Viper that locks down the Baron of all people, and now Aiming. He wants to get it done, but he flashes forward and he's not going to find it. It's just, what the heck? What happened? Keen dies to Cassante. It's a solo kill for King, and again,
it was the solution. This actually fixed it. It solved the equation. Trying to go for a Hail Mary Baron. Ends up throwing KT off. They'll be able to get the Drake, but it's just a second Ocean Drake. Not enough by a long shot.
That is crazy.
And Hanwha Life grasping back control of this game.
Oh man, that's a very scary option to take Hanwha Life Esports, but it worked out, so we can't fault you.
I love how at this point Atlas says, are you going to flip the series? And Hanwha Life says, yes. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Let it be known. And this starts up with Clid going extremely low, and Keen looking like he's doing a good job, but that ultimate from Life, I think, actually coming up really big. And there isn't enough backline threat to Viper. So Viper actually just gets a free hit, and we do know that Viper free hitting is very bad news. There is no smite here. So this is, it's just a flip. There is multiple spell books in this game, but didn't matter at all. But they get it. So
171.
Good enough.
And was hit by a Zeri.
Oh, if this is, and we've been joking a lot, right? I think KT can still come back in this game. I still think they're in an expert spot. But if this is how it starts, then I don't even know.
No, neither do I. But we're along for the ride, and that's what we want. That's why
we're still strapped in.
We are. We're keeping our arms and legs inside the vehicle, as we mentioned.
Smile for the picture.
Safety first. And now Hanwha with this Baron are going to start extending this gold lead a decent amount. It's 2 Drakes apiece, so no soul points available for either squad. It doesn't really matter because the amount of siege is actually kind of insane. As Clid presses his ult button, trying to get a slow onto Cuz as he walks on over, but I don't think much is going to be gained outside of that inner turret that was guaranteed by pressing R. Zeka could be in trouble though. Cuz moves in. Zeka gonna rocket a jump away. And it all quietens down once again on Summoner's Rift. There was too much shenanigans before. Thankfully, we now have some downtime to go over what just occurred.
Too much action.
Yes, way too much action.
Crucially, Aiming didn't die. So that's quite big. Okay, yeah, sure. So aiming not dying, very, very nice, because it means that even though right now he's only up a BF sword, which isn't that much, and Viper obviously getting a ton of gold from the Baron and the turrets that they were able to pick up, now much more on parity. This Draven with a subsequent cash-in, 200 stacks, not amazing, but still enough to, I think, bring a little bit of a swing downwards in that gold wave, if he can actually get that done. And as I mentioned, I think that Life's ultimates are going to be absolutely pivotal here, because they will create the space that I think Viper needs. If KT can get on top of Viper and take him down early, I don't think there's a way that Hanwha Life ever win. Even though Zeka is in a decent spot, right? It still would be too much to expect the Tristana, with the state that she's in right now, to single-handedly carry a fight.
Oh yeah.
But if Viper can get to do that, no problem. Also, if Zeka does get IE, he is level 16. Like, eventually he'll be able to. But right now, for KT, it's all about, can you kill Viper? And you know what? Their tools are not that amazing. They're actually finding backline access when you don't have any pressure in side lanes with your Taliyah and Gwen.
Yeah, their 4-1 is what was going to be very, very difficult for Hanwha Life Esports to deal with. But what we've seen is that Kingin's actually just kind of a monster and has been pretty fine. Maybe there's something to do with Sunfire Cape being a ridiculous item and doing a lot of damage, but maybe it's just that Kingin is very good at playing tanks, very good at utilizing extra utility and finding these clutch moments. Still, we don't need to go too far into it. 2,500 gold is the lead. It's not very much at all here as we move towards the 30-minute mark. 1 minute on Soul Point for either team. Hanwha Life Esports can get themselves their first Ocean. KT their third.
Hey, and you know what the best part is? KT might just get this, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no need to contest this. Why resolve matters with violence when you can do so peacefully?
Precisely. It doesn't really resolve them, but why would you resolve matters now when you can wait?
Why
do it
resolve
later?
matters at all? You know, future you can deal with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that Annie song.
All right, I thought you were going to say, like my essay. Just jump those forward to the future indefinitely.
I will get it done. I think it's just always, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, as always tomorrow.
We'll contest this, Drake. Tomorrow.
Maybe next game.
Yeah. Well, actually, they've decided that maybe today is the best choice. We are going to be maneuvering towards this area. 15 seconds. Killer Drake is going to spawn. Extendo beam connects onto Lehens.
Oh, quick blades for Zeka. That would be huge.
Oh.
He's waiting in base. He's sitting on TP. Surely he's almost gonna have it here.
Yeah, he's waiting. But Hanwha actually not going to be moved out of the river or anything like that. Teleport, yeah, quick blades are in. 3 items for both of the AD carries here. Control ward.
Lehens.
Goes down from Lehens. And immediately they take it out.
Well, yeah, now they know. That ward is fresh.
Yeah. And they are... Okay, Zeka just going to dive forward. It looks like KT might just give this one up. Cuz going to move on in. And Weaver's Wall is going to come down. So I tell a lie. They are going to look to try and fight for it, but it's not going to work out as now Kingin dives onto Cuz. He's going to Cyclone his way out. Buster Shot saves him, but the flash forward from Zeka is going to make it all okay. Kingin goes all out. Aiming's going to be shut down. And now Keen, I don't know whether you can immune that. He is going to dash over the wall as BDD desperately is trying to stay alive, and Viper says no. Double kill for the Cassante. And I have a feeling that Hanwha might win game 3, Chronicler, and that is terrifying.
Let's go, Kingin. King on match point, baby.
Hanwha Life able to get the Drake. No flank found there for KT. And even though Keen with a fadeaway needle is able to
He's gonna steal it, guys. He's gonna steal it. Oh, he got spotted.
A man on a mission.
Yeah, that's a control ward.
They won't let him.
I don't think so. I think Life will probably...
Surely they
Rip Bozo, Gwen build.
Quickness is available. They're just going to respect it. As, alright.
Okay, Keen
really did not want to take any damage.
Keen is choking, guys.
Now we see Keen's player. Lehens was giggling as that stopwatch came through. And here we see the issue is that in the straight up front to back, I do think that the composition from KT will struggle with the state of the game right now. Zeka almost saves Cuz, then decides, no, I am not saving Cuz. I'm jumping after him. Then almost gets out here, but gets hit by a final needle from Keen, which is very nicely done. But unfortunately, while Keen gets out with his life, PDD is unable to as Viper jumps on top of him. And Kingen by himself has already been doing an expert job as... Oh.
Well, Kingen is now in a little bit of trouble. Is Cassante.
Oh, it's so cursed.
He might be.
It's so fucking cursed, man. It's so cursed. Bro!
And I don't know whether that's going to be it, but he does almost get bailed out. Still,
okay, Viper.
And now Cuz is the next one
Viper.
in trouble, and it's all just to buy space for Viper. And you know what? It works.
Well, let's not get bogged down in details. It works, okay?
It does, yeah.
It's fine. They killed the jungler.
Massive
They're going
win
in
for Humble Life Esports. 2 for 2.
Great play. It works out.
Good stuff.
Everything's okay. Oh, they're not done. They're not done.
Yep, teleport's
They're
going to come
peel
in.
off again.
Yeah.
No Zeri ult.
Moves on in. Extendo beam does a lot of work. Cleared, very healthy.
You know,
I don't know.
It all makes sense to me now. Wait, let's see how this goes first.
All right, another teleport.
They have smite. They have smite.
In he goes.
They have smite.
They can just smite this.
Indeed. And
oh!
he's not going to because cleared. He gets in there.
Jungle
he shows
gap.
them which one's a jungle, and now he's walking around in circles,
Jungle gap.
celebrating for a moment. It's going to be another cash in there for aiming, but he only recently died, so it's not a lot of stacks.
What a game.
4 items on the Draven. He's kind of massive, but man, let's have a look at this again. This game is nutty.
Just because you have smite doesn't mean you're a jungler. You've got that smite, Khalid.
Bro,
okay,
what's Kingen doing here, dude?
Okay, so Kingen dies here, right? He dies time. But Zeka is best at melee champions, so he plays it like a melee champion. He has bailout, which, yeah, there we go. You saw he got the bailout procced. That was nice.
Oh, he did, yeah.
But as much as we joke, I actually do think that baiting KT into a... It didn't have to be done that way, but baiting KT to fight and blow cooldowns on him is actually good. Because the only thing that matters is Viper. As you do, as mentioned, you do have smite.
Everyone's saying this game is bad.
But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Clid gets it.
He does. And this game is...
No death cap?
It's too silly.
No bitches?
Too silly, this game. Humble Life, they do move to Soul Point as well after that, so in 1 minute's time... Oh, man. Well, they moved to Soul Point before it, but it does mean that now another fight in 1 minute where KT do want to deny that soul. Or maybe they just accelerate an Elder Flip. Maybe that's the mindset. Maybe that's the thinking.
Yeah, I do think the problem is that Ocean is actually quite good for Hanwha because of their frontliners that can take a...
Yeah, it's fun game, it's fun game.
Both Clid and King are going to be very happy. Yes.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering, this is
Gwen kind of scary, but she has a Morello.
Life Esports.
That's just how it is.
For some reason.
Keen also being at the top of the damage chart for KT is also very
It's
on theme.
so troll.
That is very against a tank.
It's a lot of thematic consistency in this game, Atlas says. We flip in.
No ability haste, no AP.
The most harmful thing to do is to
Magic
allow
Penguin.
KT to even out the dragons. So we get 3 on each side, and then we fight in 5 minutes time. That would be my recommendation.
I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, they've got a Baron. And they're just going to start this one up. Using that extra priority.
Still has smite.
Okay, maybe that's the angle.
The double smite steal.
Yeah, King can dash over this wall as well. In they go. There's the quickness.
Oh, he gets it.
Does manage to do it.
A huge Renato.
Viper's not able to do too much damage to the Gwen, and now KT. They're like, Heist is done.
Oh, they found aiming.
He has to flash. Can he stay alive? The answer is absolutely not. Viper tears him to shreds. And
nice, Viper.
It's a double kill, and I have a feeling this could be the Zeri moment for Humble Life Esports here in game number 3.
We're going to LCS Drake, guys.
As Lance trying to clear this wave, trying desperately to stall time for the rest of his team.
Oh, Lance, the genius.
Yeah, he is. But Lance does real quick.
I actually think it's fine. Yeah, Lance saves the... He gets the Drake.
Yeah.
And then he gets the wave.
He saves the soul, and he might even get away. Well, at least he's wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, he does die. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
unless he
Houdini?
Can he get over the wall? The all-out comes in. Lahens is really dead. But wasted a lot of time.
Probably.
Wasted a lot of time.
I mean, Viper woke up. He's been wokage. The whole series.
And the other had 2. So this should always go. Nicely done by KT there. The problem is that the subsequent fight obviously still not good for them because they have 0 threat on Viper. And in case he missed it, he's the only player that matters. And this is much more like game number 1.
Renato was massive.
Having free plays due to King playing an incredible tank game, right? And unlike in game number 1, where Life was, I think, at times in later team fights went over aggressive, which is understandable if you're playing Rakan, but you are, you know, you have Viper, so you don't need to. And with Renata, you can't. Yeah. So he's just standing.
Bro, Viper has like 13 CS per minute the whole series.
And it's basically like he's playing better Zillion, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of works like Chrono Shift, but you get more attack speed. With the bailout. It's kind of cool. Oh dear, Lehens gonna try and escape this one. Battle Dance is going to get him towards Cuz.
Viper is currently
Watch him as he goes.
whipping them.
He aimed for the bushes and he got out alive.
He did. It's fine.
So you're not gonna end this one.
Right. As okay, BDD moving these minions towards the turret once again. Talia having a rough time. As maybe it's time that we just accept he's just not that good anymore. It's a bit of a sad situation. No, you can understand what the theory was. It just hasn't really been enough. And Zekr is now level 18. He's drawn a bead, considerable amount.
Okay.
So much extra range now. Does have a GA as well.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. That's a great choice.
That's the mitigating factor right there. He also has a null magic mantle, which might be turned into something that can stop him from being CC'd, which I also think would be a very, very good idea. 6,000 gold, Summer Life Esports' lead. Doesn't really look like that based on how they're
if Keen had death cap,
don't have the game
could
completely sewn shut just yet.
If Keen had death cap.
But it's still looking
but no death cap.
good for a game 4. What that
it is looking good for a game 4. We don't know what that, if this was leading up to game 5, we knew. But we don't.
Yeah.
We don't. Started off
everywhere, Cuz had to face check. He's going to use his Warrior Trickster to be all right. Extender Beam kind of looking like the old one with how fed Viper is right now. And they're going to start off the Baron. KT moving pretty slowly to get over here.
Oh, it's
all right.
Oh, wait, Cuz?
Nice, Clint. Good ult.
No, because they had the ulti and now
okay, here comes Kingen.
He's massive.
Here comes Kingen. Huge Renato ult again.
But Viper is so fast. He's just sprinting after KT, looking for his opportunity. Man, that damage was just massive. And Cuz is actually going to buy a fair bit of time. Extendo Beam going to stop that from happening. But Hanwha, they get themselves a Baron and they get themselves a pick. And this should mean base broken, Soul picked up, and possibly even Nexus destroyed.
The wall going to mean that right now we're keeping it cool because you know what's
I love Viper, guys, but at this point his game kind of plays itself.
So we're not gonna, no risky business.
A lot of Zeri players can convert this position.
No pushing forward aggressively. We're playing a good, honest game of League of Legends. We're gonna get that soul, and then we're gonna keep shoving with our Baron buff.
Except Neon,
Look at what the textbook tells you to do.
Neon just catching strays randomly 11 in the morning. Jesus Christ.
Don't overextend too much. Just take what you can. And if there's Dragon, you get control of the minion waves. You take the Dragon.
Let Neon breathe, man.
And that's what they're doing. Soul now consumed.
Sure, Neon's gonna fight his way back into the LCK, guys.
Very close. That was scarily close.
That was single-digit health, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, the Whirling Death comes back the other direction as well, as aiming did go back to base. Very cute stuff.
Imagine if they get soul off of that.
That would have been a very, very silly situation. That would be a Quadra Ocean soul as well. Like, that's actually insane.
Guys, look at some of the ADs in the league right now. It's like Cobra.
Pre-nerf Zeri with these extendo beams. This is silly.
Yeah, this game is weird. We have pre-nerf Cassante.
Yeah, and
pre-nerf Zeri.
Crazy.
Cobra made a miraculous return.
Again, Talia. As Viper gonna get
Crown is looking crazy good.
Mini heart attack there.
Yeah.
Making a personal resurgence is possible.
Just get hit by that. And then not really
it's hard, but it's possible. Cobra having a fantastic season.
As this inhibitor going to go down. And remember,
ADC
Viper
is
can play
very
Reckless
stacked.
Abandon because he does have bailout. And so therefore,
Upset.
he'll just be K'd.
Honestly, Vitality is basically how I life.
Moving up.
Yeah.
Viper is upset.
Seismic shove, not going to find anyone. Now Cuz gonna have to use that warrior trickster. Second inhibitor going to go down as now Viper's
Here comes Viper. Viper. Penta Viper. Penta Viper. Penta. Penta Viper.
But that's going to be pretty close to the quadrant. Triple kill for Viper. Hanwha are going to ace them, and they will bring us to a game 4.
And it was a bit
nice.
of a roller coaster for Hanwha here, but they will be able to take this game. Fine. Pick up now much more on parity
By the Talia.
There from KT, because I think for a lot of players,
bro, I thought game was just over after this shit.
Is going, but Lance like, I am a ward. I am just here so that you guys know who to kill.
I thought the game was just lost after this.
Obviously, further cements the fight. Is Seka gonna get taken low here?
But the early Drakes are huge.
Yeah.
Imagine playing Draven and the enemy gets Drake. That's crazy.
Game number 1 was good, not good enough. As game number 2 was unfortunate, but in this game, found the early solo kill and created so much space. And then Viper said, thank you for that. I have space.
KT 3-1.
Zeka just continued doing what he was doing, but this time bought a lot of time and space. And all of the chaos that he was setting up for his team actually made it so that Viper could get all of these earlier kills. He was just so huge in this game. This happens again. Chronicler.
Surely not.
Yeah, no. As Viper, he did 50,000 damage.
Yeah.
Like, so the easiest pick.
Viper wants to win, guys.
I guess.
I don't know.
Keep in mind though,
hope. I'm not brave
now
enough,
KT goes blue side. No more Zeri for Viper.
But I do think that there's other players that you can put in the
They can
position
just ban 3 ADs first pick Zeri.
I don't think a lot of players are put in the position.
I like you, man.
Yeah. What happened just there is, man, look at it. There was a moment where we thought KT was going to pull it back. They got that one great team fight. But it wasn't enough.
It was not. That damage graph was absolutely
Okay, guys, we go blue side. We ban Caitlyn, we ban Lucian, we ban Varus, we first pick Zeri.
Decent damage number at the end of a game.
Yeah.
Nice, good strat.
Yeah, then you put Viper into the game and everyone feels a little bit silly. We're going to go to a short break. When we get back, the space is going to break down. The first Halma Life Esports victory of